We don't need to be controlled and manipulated. And who knows? What if you, I, and everybody else in the whole white world were really following their mind and their heart and doing what they love to do? Maybe the world wouldn't even change. Maybe it would still look the same. Who knows? Because we would all just kind of be rearranging things around a little bit. Instead of you being there, I would be there. Vice versa. You know? I had a lot of great times. I started going to life groups there. My girlfriend at the time, she didn't want to be a part of it. She said I was getting carried away. Can I tell you something? I was seeking. I was determined. I want to be happy. That's what it was. I want to be happy. I'm tired of not being happy. And can I tell you, I got involved with life groups, and I got to say that once I become disciplined in my walk of doing whatever it is that I'm doing, I become dedicated to something, I go all in or not at all. I go all in or not at all. You will find that out in my life journey. When I went into it, when I came out, I went fully out. When I made that decision, when I started my music career, I started it right away. My Christian walk, I'm ready to start it right now. I don't want to play no games. I want to be happy. That's what it was. That's how bad I want to be happy. Let's do it now. I don't want to wait. I started going to these life groups. I don't want to get too much into it, but these life groups usually start with eating. Very unhealthy food. Sometimes healthy food, but usually unhealthy food. You get together, beautiful people, wonderful relationships, okay? Start to develop there. And just start with a time of prayer. After everybody eats, we're kind of socializing. We start little prayer, kind of get ourselves in the gear of the mind. Possibly worship a little bit if somebody plays music or something like that. And then we'll start to discuss some of the chapters we read earlier that week. And we meet every week. Might do it for 6 or 8 weeks. I don't know. It depends. Every life group can kind of tailor itself. We can meet at different people's houses. Sometimes we go do an activity together. We might offer to clean up somebody's yard together as a team. Can I tell you that some of the most magical moments in my whole entire life happened in that group? Because of these groups that I would be getting together with, I would feel a part of something even more because it was, you know, just a select few people within a group. There might be 15 people, 10 people, you know, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It depends. I was so excited to be a part of something for the first time in my life. I got to admit, it felt good. We got into really deep conversations. And the personality types that were there, I wouldn't normally hang around with when I was a kid growing up. Ever. I'd never hang around people like that. Oh, I wanted to, but I wasn't. I wouldn't. By this time, of course, I look like your Christian man. Buttoned down. I'm taking this into my profession, by the way, of music, because now what I'm learning at the church is kind of contaminating my music career. It really is. Because I'm even starting to do praise and worship songs in the bar rooms. I'd sneak it in. Very scared to do this, but I did it because I wanted nothing more than to share my love of God with the entire world. So instead of being a rock and roller, I'm becoming basically your religious Christian boy. Button-down shirt, got my khaki pants on, my jeans, very professional, you know, according to the laws of the land and laws of the Bible. So I connected with people. It was a very acceptable image. Very acceptable. Looking back on it. No matter where I went, I was accepted warmly. I mastered that, you know. I'm an entertainer. I can dress all kinds of ways. I can pretend and role play any part. It's my ability. I learned that in life. So then afterwards, we just kind of talk, you know. Sometimes we get together at different times, go bowling or whatever we did. Might eat at somebody's house, you know, whatever we did. And that's pretty much it. We'll see you next week. We'll see you at service. We might sit together at service. You're sharing a lot of time. This is starting to become like a friend. Your friends and family. It was like a family, a brotherhood, sisterhood. And usually, without going too deep, if somebody was struggling with something, we would take time as a group to kind of reach in there and help to wipe away the tears a little bit. Are you crying? I'm sorry. Here, I'm here for you, okay? That kind of stuff, you know? Some of the people I met there changed my life just from having a relationship with them. And they may never know that. They may never realize me, who has been an outcast my whole entire life, is finally fitting in somewhere. I was excited. I'm going to a church to rock and roll, although I'm being brainwashed to believe that I am not worthy without God. I'm a sinner, dirty, washed clean in the blood of Jesus. Did you ever wonder how can you be clean in somebody else's blood? I don't know. That's the Christian faith. So, this has to be the greatest thing for me to look. It's free entertainment. Can I tell you it's free entertainment? You go there. That's the biggest reason I went is for the music. The music was magnificent. Magnificent. I'm telling you, it drives me crazy. It was wonderful. I daydreamed about that stuff all the time. I want to make music like that. I started writing praise and worship songs. This stuff now is starting to transition over into my own life. Okay? It's changing me. It's changing me. I don't want to sing cover songs anymore. I don't want to sing somebody else's songs. I want to sing songs about God, and I want to sing songs really from my heart about God. I want to sing songs that mean something. Not just for entertainment purposes. Am I saying that rock and roll doesn't mean something? No? Am I saying that? Maybe I was at the time. Maybe I wasn't smart enough to realize that I was touching more lives. You know? Singing Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Pink houses for you and me. Maybe. I didn't want to be a jukebox. One of my biggest dreams in the whole world was for me, actually I wanted to be a guitar player. I can't wait to talk about my music life with you. So I don't want to get too carried away with this. But understand, no matter where I go, I'm starting to clean up my image. I'm trying to get the alcohol out of my life. I'm trying to get the cigarette addiction out of my life. I'm trying to get the drugs out of my life. And I keep depending on God to help me. Help me, Almighty God, up there somewhere. Was it me who perceived it as that? Out there, down there, God, is it you down there? Oh, Tracilyn, help me up out of the mud pit I've fallen in. Maybe that's what God was saying to me. Tracilyn, I've fallen in the mud pit. I'm busy right now. I can't help you with your own problems. Fix it yourself. Maybe he was saying that. Maybe God was saying, I'll fix it myself. I have to fix it myself. I gotta get the sin out of my life. Can I assure you that I didn't? If I love myself because while I'm a smoker and a drinker and whatever I'm doing, then I'm already made right. Perfect. Not to somebody's idea and standards. Okay? To my own standards, which is much more important. Because I'm not here living my life for anyone out there. For nobody. Let me tell you something. All these Christian leaders, they're going to teach you to live life for God. Live life for God. No. Big mistake. You start living life for God, you're going to end up falling into people pleasing. It's going to look like that. That's what I did. I'm doing everything for God. I'm forgiving people for God. Okay? I'm helping my family clean their houses for God. I'm doing everything that I do for God. I'm mowing people's grass for God. I'm going to Walmart to bag groceries for God. What a big mistake! Listen, if you bag groceries for Walmart, it was one of the best jobs ever. Okay, can I just tell you that? I had a lot of fun. It was good for a season, not for the rest of my life though. I learned a lot being there, and I have a whole lot to share about that, hopefully someday. Okay? I'm not in agreement with everything that Walmart does, its leadership teams. All right, I can tell you some pros and negatives with it, but I learned a lot there. All right, I really did. I don't want to get too much started on that. Can I tell you something? I was even bagging groceries at Walmart for God. But I wasn't doing it for me. It was a big mistake. It was a big mistake for me to do anything for God because a lot of times it wasn't in alignment with my heart of what I wanted to be doing. And the world around you, usually because you're in the wrong environment. If you notice a lot of people beating you up because you have certain passions in life and they don't get it, they're making fun of you all the time, can I assure you that you're probably more than likely in the wrong environment. You're connected with the wrong people. So it's a season of time that you got to go through to mark your mind with your heart, and you got to walk and you got to weed out all the junk that isn't important. And it's going to be people who are weighing you down. And they're going to beat you up and tell you you're selfish, you're self-centered, all you care about is yourself. Like with me, all I care about is my music, all I care about is my dog, all I care about is God. Yes. Can I tell you something? Yes, first. All I care about my music, first. I care about what my desires are and my needs first. God, I am God. Okay? So yes, I come first. You're God. You come first. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you don't come first. You always come first. And if they say, well, God comes first. No. You come first because you are God of your life. Nobody's going to teach you that. Not in the Christian community. They're not going to teach you that. They don't want you to know that. Because then you won't be dependent on their services. And then when you go there, you'll never experience anything like it because they're taking all your resources, your money, your talents. Not that they didn't do that with my talents with me, okay? You'll hear my story. Understand, if you're offering it, they're not going to strip it down and rip it from you. If you're offering it, because that's the way it is, well, you gave us your money, okay? You gave us your talents, you gave us your time. You wanted to do it because there's not too many people that don't want to be a part of something magnificent like that. Seriously, you know that. When you walk in, it's beautiful. You know, at first you kind of feel kind of outcasted, but it doesn't take long. They're very friendly. Very sweet, warm you up. They suck you into their idea of what God is. And they'll tell you, just like the ladies told me when the camera was on, when I was there, we're here to share the message of Jesus, but they leave out, we're here to share our idea of Jesus, of the message of Jesus. That's what she said. We're here to share the message of Jesus. Okay? But she left out their idea of the message of Jesus. Because that's all it is. That's all it is. It's other people's ideas. And let me tell you something. It doesn't take us very much. It took me a long time. I'm figuring it out slowly but surely. But give me a chance to explain my whole life story. I'm getting closer. So I want to wrap things up here a little bit. Because I know I'm running low on battery. I know I'm running low on memory. It's going to start getting dark. I'm going to find somewhere because this is very important to me. This is going to be a little bit longer video series. I'm talking in circles now because I gotta be honest. I'm in a really bad situation right now. Okay? I can't take the time to organize my thoughts and then present them to you and make you laugh and make you cry or make you mad with any kind of purpose with it. I have to be very quick about this. You have to just rest assured that I had a lot of good times going with my girlfriend at the time. We had wonderful times. There were times that I got to talk with the pastor, Dave Ashcraft. Okay? I gotta admit, anybody who knows me knows that I shared many stories that I was intimidated when I would see him because the way he holds himself. A man of integrity, he has a very powerful presence when he speaks, when he walks, okay? I really wanted to get to know him. I really wanted to get inside of his mind and talk to him. And there were times that I had encounters with him. And I remember one time directly that I was talking to him and I told him, I said, I don't know how you guys do it, but it seems every week that I show up here that it's something very relative to what I'm going through in my own personal life. And he looked around the auditorium and he said, do you feel that you're the only one? What about everybody else out here? And I gotta tell you, it was kind of unique in a way, but he made a very good point. There's a lot of other people there. They're going through their own struggles in life. Okay? Hello? Okay, I forget exactly where I left off at. I got to meet one of the park rangers back here. very grateful to find out that they are not going to flood in the roads that I'm walking on. And in the future, for anybody to know, if you go onto the website of this park, which I'll find out more information, they actually still do drive-thrus here for a few hours, like twice a month. It's really exciting. Looking forward to it. So now, check this out. I had a couple talks with David, and you know, they were very short, very brief. I have nothing bad to say about him. He was definitely what I admired the most as far as speakers that were there. There was a few select speakers, very critical in watching people's stage presence. I almost said performance, but their presence. And I can't help that. I was involved in the music and entertainment industry for off and on throughout my life. I watched a lot of television, a lot of videos. I went to a lot of rock concerts. I look for these things, you know? And I was always impressed with the fact that he could most of the time sit in a stool, you know, and share a very in-depth message. I wanted to get to meet him, and I told him about that. And he made a very good point. You know, Tracilyn, don't you think that everybody here? I didn't get it. Let me tell you something. We're all going through the same struggles if we're in there. Similar struggles. How about this? Similar struggles. Because human nature is the same in everybody. Human nature, let me tell you something. Human nature is the same in everybody. In everyone. And if anyone ever tells you any different, then they're fibbing. It's that easy. They're fibbing. They're fibbing. Humans are humans. Okay, I'm not saying that where anybody is acting upon anything, but we all go through our season, and human nature is human nature. So that's what I started to get through going through a lot of the services and in my own personal walk of life. I didn't learn that there. I'm talking in my own personal walk. One time in my life group, somewhere, somehow, I got introduced to this one lady. I don't know where she is anymore. But can I tell you something? She was short, long black hair. She was desperately seeking. And I can't remember the question that she asked me when she first met me. But it had something to do with, can you help me find God? Can you imagine that? I mean, this lady had to be in her 20s or 30s. She looked like she had a really rough life. I didn't know what to say. Why did she come to me? Why not somebody else? But she came to me. And I don't want to get a whole lot busy in this. Can I say I just spent a little bit of time? At that time, I was starting to take the ministry off into my music, because now I'm singing praise and worship. I'm making it very well known publicly that Tracilyn is now a Christian, a person of God, and available if anybody needs somebody to talk to, give me a call. So I would give my telephone number to everyone. I posted online, had a website, and I would chat online. And I gotta be honest with you, actually, looking back now, a big part of what I was dreaming and longing to do was becoming true, very slowly. I was getting introduced to this girl. This is what I was talking about. So this girl, I end up inviting to our life group, because I was all about, now I want to help people. See how this stepped in? What about myself? I want to help people. I didn't realize then what I know now. Helping people. The best way to do that, what I come to the conclusion is, by sticking true to what it is that we love to do. Whatever it is. It's the best way we can help people. That's the way we're intended to help people, in my perspective. It's the way we're intended. So why am I going out to and extending my arms of gratitude to help people? I can't possibly be responsible for everybody that's out here. I make myself available this way, and if you cross paths with me, we might have some words to toss back and forth, but that's about it. I don't have to go to extremes to do this, right? Oh, I got so much to share with you. But can I tell you something? I ended up inviting her into our life group. Did you ever meet anybody who's anorexic? She was anorexic. So basically, remember I told you the life group, we eat a lot of very unhealthy food, and then she went to the bathroom. That's why she was so skinny. It didn't freak me out. It didn't freak me out. It freaked everybody else out. And they wanted her out of the life group. And the first was, were you ever in a life group? Were you ever part of a Christian community and then you hear something crazy like that? Why? Because she got sick. Seriously? And these are Christians? The love of Jesus? I don't want to ride this too much. Can I just tell you that I was confused, I was upset. I went and I talked to some of the pastor teams. And I got to be honest with you. Their response, you know, how can I put it? I guess they basically left me know that this girl here was kind of a problem child, and that sometimes people can come into their lives, I guess their words could say, you know, more of like a darkness, a dark energy. But they said didn't use that. Probably Satan. Satan uses people sometimes. That's what it was. Satan. Satan down here with the horns on. He's from New Jersey, I think. Uses people sometimes to try to destroy church communities. Let me tell you something. We're in control. We are in control of our actions. And if we are kicking people out, that's not Satan. Number one. And for somebody to come there for companionship and love, that's not Satan. Okay? She was consuming a lot of my energy because I cared so much for her. So I had to let her go. And I'll tell you what, that was very painful for me. And I started to reflect back on some of the things that different pastors said, not necessarily David, understand that. Different pastors. And I realized, you know what? Maybe they made a good point here. It wasn't Satan. She had a lot of inner struggles. Who knows what was going on inside of her head? Okay? Maybe what she needed was some Christians to demonstrate love. Just love. That's it. You want to throw up over there in a corner? Let me tell you something. If you're anorexic, I love you. You want to eat something and go over there and put your finger down your throat? Be my guest. I love you. I love you. I'm not going to walk away from you because you do that. That's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay? I'm not saying that I would allow you to consume my energy. If that's what you want to do, go do it. I ain't going to kick you out of my house. Okay? That's just me, though. That's my idea. But I also... It's what I learned. It's what I learned from observing the true world around me. Music. I love music. That's what I was born to do my whole entire life. Okay? If I'm running around trying to help everybody, you know, there's other people in this world that are running around trying to help people, and that's what they really, really want to do. And let me tell you something. I would beat myself up and say, you're selfish, Tracilyn. Why aren't you trying to do everything you can to help people? Let me tell you something. I started like a little ministry myself, and I was making myself available to go to people's homes, to be a part of their family gatherings on holidays, to take their children bowling, to go roller skating. I was going to healthcare facilities, and I was meeting with retired people that were in healthcare facilities that their family didn't want nothing to do with them. They're Christian families, by the way. They're Christian families, had them in a healthcare facility, and they didn't want nothing to do with them. There you go, Mom. Here's a nice place. Have a nice day. We got a life to live now. Okay? So why is Tracilyn going to these healthcare facilities and visiting with these people that are here? And they have a family. I have a family too. You know, why am I there? Why ain't I rocking and rolling and doing what I love to do? Traveling the world, doing what I love to do, that's it. It's music. I'm going to life groups. I'm starting to watch this lady from St. Louis, Missouri, is it? I'm listening to this guy down in in Lakewood. And let me tell you, I'm meeting up with different people that are watching this stuff too. So now we're bouncing our different ideas. We're all trying to figure out God, God, God. Who is God? Who is Jesus? What's going on here? The world is kind of going crazy right now in the midst of us all. We're trying to figure everything out. Very challenging. Want to know something? I have stories to share with you as I talk about my transgendered walk. Okay? And my music. Getting involved in Christianity was a blessing and a curse. And I look back now and I realize that if I would have just from day one been educated to look from my mind into my heart and stay true to myself, I wouldn't have had all the struggles, a majority of the struggles, maybe different ones, maybe a lot different, but I would have found my happiness. I don't know if I would be here today though, I'll be honest with you, because the world around us, obviously you hear people say, well, they're not ready. A lot of girls that are transsexual ladies, they're getting killed because people are using excuses that they say stuff like they're of Satan. You know, they say stuff like, I had no idea that was a transsexual lady until I saw that body part. Oh no. See, the doctor says it's a boy. The doctor says it's a boy. And now that's a good excuse because I didn't know. Now it gives somebody permission to take another person's life. Because I became attracted to you and I didn't know any better. Let me tell you something, especially within the LGBT community nowadays. All these religious beliefs that were sent down for centuries contaminated the entire world's mind into their idea of life. And we've been fighting it for eternity. We've been fighting it since the beginning of time. This stuff has been going on forever. This didn't just all of a sudden, here we are. We've been dealing with this since the beginning life started on Earth. All right, it's in nature. It's everywhere you look. Somebody had this idea, playing a nasty trick upon these people because they didn't think that they should be living this life. They thought it was something that was controllable. Can I tell you something? It's not controllable. You got to be true to yourself. If you're gay, if what the world calls gay, if you appreciate the company of a same-sex partner, you're doing good if you're being honest with yourself. Don't listen to anybody else. If you identify more of the opposite gender status than you've been told, don't listen to anybody else. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Don't listen to anybody else. Then be it. But don't do it because other people are doing it. Because what's going to end up happening, you're going to find out people are just going to do it for popularity. I'm a girl. I'm a girl now. Yes, I'm a girl now. Look at me. Are you? Because I'll tell you what, right now, if you're pretending to be a girl and you're really a boy, you're going to have a life of misery. Absolutely. You do something like that for attention, and I guarantee you, in the end, you're going to regret it. Okay? I don't know how, but you will. It'll eat at you. In your heart. In your mind. Okay? You got to be careful. You got to be careful. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't want what other people have. Okay? Don't want what's outside of yourself. Want what is really you. So you feel that completeness, that wholeness. Okay? That's what I've been wanting. I'm here to tell you that's what I wanted my whole life. I didn't want God in my life. I already had it. Okay? We're taught division. In any church right now that's telling you that, okay? Any church that is telling you we don't teach division, but they're saying keep your mind on God's word, right there is physical evidence that they're lying to you. Because if your mind is on God's word, it'll never be on your heart. You'll never be able to be honest with yourself because you're going to be comparing yourself with what's in that literature. And whoa, when you start doing that, very sensitive subject to talk about, let me tell you. Very painful. Very painful. If my mind's on anything else other than my heart, okay, it's taken away. How can I make the right choices? Much like a computer is programmed for games of all sorts, for all kinds of programs that are on there, they're all programmed, meaning there's a lot of words, a lot of letters, a lot of syllables that programmers, people, put in, and it creates what is called a program. I don't want to get too much heavy into that now. I have to break it down a little bit. I'm a little silly sometimes, but can I tell you something? Much like a computer is programmed, okay, for Windows Vista, Windows XP, you know, all the different things that are out there. Can I tell you something? That's how our mind is programmed. And people have known it for centuries. Okay? So any information that is given to you, the Bible, and you read it, you can't help that if you start to believe some of it, you start to believe all of it, especially if you're hanging around other people who are telling you this. You're all falling in agreement with it. And let me tell you something, it's kind of like you're plugging in a network of computers. And you're sitting there, and you're listening to this gentleman speak, or lady, whoever it is. They're speaking, they're speaking, they're speaking. I don't believe that, I don't believe that, I do believe that, I don't believe that, I do. But eventually, because you're so hungry for what is called a better life, what you think you want a better life, so you keep going there, you keep being fed with their words. Unfortunately, if we're completely honest, we start becoming dependent on them. We aren't individual and self-thinkers. Did they do it on purpose? Did they set out originally and intentionally to do that to the group of people on purpose? I don't know. Can I be honest with you? If you were to ask me if I think that, you're crazy, Tracilyn. I'd have to tell you, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me. You control the masses and oppress them into an idea of how they should be living, so they submit to your idea of how they're living. If you get them to go to a gathering at a building, yes, they're going to start to submit to that idea. What about television? You're brainwashed with all the images. Crazy stuff. Remember, I'm talking about horror movies and me being scared? Yeah. Was that God? I heard God's voice. Did you hear God's voice? Okay. You're listening to these songs over and over and over again. You refuse now to listen to country music. You refuse to listen to rock and roll because that's Satan's music. You refuse to listen to the television set anymore. You shut everything down, and all you do now is you listen to sermons by Joyce Myers. A lot of us have done that. Okay, I got my Joyce Myers. God is for me, not against me. You know, everything's gonna be fine, right? You listen to these people's Audible CDs, you watch their DVDs, you watch their programs online, on the television. It becomes an addiction. You start to believe that they know the answers. Any good teacher would tell you they don't know the answers. They don't know the absolute answers. But they can share with you their life journey. And through sharing their life journey, they can share with you the truth of where they made mistakes along the way and what they did to correct them. And that would lead to the basic principles of life. Being honest with yourself. Forgiving everybody because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, when they humiliate you, laugh at you because of the way you're living your life. Let me tell you something. I want to walk with you through my transsexual walk. I want to walk with you through my time of being an escort. I want to walk with you through my time of being a musician. I already walked through my time of life through the base of my home life and all the things I went through in school. Okay, I already did that. But I was getting built up here to the important stuff. When people really started coming against me because of the decisions and the choices I was making that were right in alignment with my heart, even being an escort. Okay? Being a musician. Being Tracilyn. I'm an entertainer. It's what I do. I'm not here to run around trying to help individual people. And I know that may sound cruel. I'm not. Believe it or not, I'm here to entertain masses. That may sound crazy to you right now. Really? Yes. Yes, it is. But I'm not here to entertain them. I'm here to be myself and be available for them. You know, if I'm standing on a street corner and you walk by, here I am. I'm available for you. If you don't appreciate it, you don't appreciate it. You know? Give me a chance to explain this. I was very frustrated to even talk about this subject because I don't have the songs and the sermons of the different things that I learned while going to that church. Can I just say that I feel a lot better now getting just a little bit out of my system. I'm not about to go through and nitpick on all the different subjects and different things that ended up happening. But can I tell you this? It's very obvious that if a building of gathering place is continuing to grow, and the same people are going there for years, then they haven't got the message. They haven't realized they're free. They're free to be themselves. They haven't realized who they are. If they're still sitting on this side listening to somebody up there talk, we don't need that person up there standing there and talking. Okay? We don't need them. We never did need them. You will find out if you go through our childhood that by the time you're already 8 years old, you already get it. You already get it. Even if you aren't aware that you get it. If you're honest with yourself, I had to go back in time and look at my life from the time I was born and go to each neighborhood and reflect back what happened in this neighborhood. What was going on? If I'm honest with myself, what did I honestly do to deserve this kind of treatment? Why didn't I like this? I already knew I liked boys. A lot. I definitely don't like to be kissed by girls. I don't like to be intimate with girls. You know, I love girls. I love to hang out with them. I love to do all kinds of things. You start learning boundaries with overall relationships. Okay, that's just something there. I knew that I was music, that I loved music. I knew that I wanted long hair. I can go on and on. I already knew that I loved to sunbathe. You're going to find out when I start talking about Ohio that I got in a really bad relationship with someone. And the stripping process really began when I was manipulating my mind by watching Joyce Myers and Joel Osteen. Okay? I was listening to those two programs while living there. And let me tell you something. Everything that was in my heart I was not doing, and I was in a great deal of pain. Your circumstances, let me tell you something. If any pastor ever tells you, or teacher tells you, your circumstances do not matter, yes they do. Yes they do. And if she says no, and notice I'm saying she, then tell her to turn on her oven or her stove all the way on high and then sit her fat butt on it. And then we'll see if her circumstance matters. Okay, it matters. It matters greatly. Okay? Because you can't help when you're out of your element to be feeling a great deal of pain. You're in the wrong place. You're in an unhealthy environment. It's not good for you. And if you're listening to the wrong teacher and they're telling you things like that, what's going to end up happening is you're going to keep thinking, if you keep twisting your mind, and give me a chance. Give me a chance. I know you may be a big fan of Joyce Myers. Okay? You might be a big fan of Joel. I'm saying these names straight up because I'm telling you right now, I'm not in agreement with what they're doing. Because I found out in the long run, their teachings led me into a pit. Into a pit. Okay? Stripped. It was a combination of all the places it was religion. It was the Christian faith. It was the Christianity. Me submitting myself to their teachings that brought me to this place. I have nothing anymore. I don't even have money. Food. Healthy food. All I have is this camera. It's all temporary. I want to share my life story. I'm not trying to beat up any individual church. I'm just here to share my story. And I'm almost done. I'm done talking about my life for the last 40 years. In a day or two, I'm going to be 41. And I want to believe in my heart that a new life will begin. Begone. I want to put this all behind me. I don't want nothing to do with it. At all. I have found and learned the hard way that most people in my life that I've ran into through my life and journey were not supportive of who Tracilyn is. They wanted me, if I was their idea, which was formed through the Christian faith and other religions throughout the world, and the entertainment media, and I wish I had so much time to explain the details. Can I tell you, yes, even the entertainment industry has made my life miserable, your life miserable. You don't have to go too far about it. Let's just look how cross-dressers and transvestites are portrayed on television and in movies. Let's just look how they're portrayed. Okay, can we look how they're portrayed? That image, the way you perceive that in a movie or a television show is how you're going to perceive one of a cross-dresser or a transvestite that you meet in real life. Okay? It's that simple. These people know what they're doing. They know it. And they're not going to stop. Because people end up being in a trance. This becomes your world. You go to work at a job you hate, but you do it because you have to. You have a family to take care of. Not everybody, but a large portion of people. You're willing to work 2 or 3 jobs. Don't pay you anything. Whatever you got to do to make it work. Then you go back home, you hate life, but you have your family if you have your family. You eat, you watch television, you listen to the radio, you wake up, and you do it all over again. How many people have done that? Welcome to the world of slavery. Welcome to the world of slavery. You have just been stripped away and programmed to believe what we want you to believe. Submit yourself to our ways. Okay? And let me tell you something. As people begin to wake up from this trance that we have been put in, like a spell, it's not easy. It's very painful. Just like it was very painful when I came back from Las Vegas and I realized this. I am God. If I make any choices that are not in alignment with my heart, I'm going to be very unhappy. It's true. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be walking in a world of people who have been programmed to say, guess what? You're selfish. Yes! I am here in the middle of the northern side of Lickdale in the mountains to tell you, yes, first, I care about myself. And you better care about yourself first. And you better start reconsidering about working for corporations who have been manipulating and twisting your minds and paying off politicians and paying off religious leaders. Giving them tax breaks. There's 1 or 2. Okay? The food that we eat is poisoned, basically. You might as well say that. Let me tell you something. Since I come back here and I can't afford to eat healthy at all, the food that I eat doesn't fill my stomach. It doesn't fill my appetite. But I will tell you this. I'm hungry all the time, but it has a very negative effect on my body. Oh, yes. Uh-oh, look at my butt. My gut. Could it be what's in the food? See, I learned these things because I've been all over the board. I've been very disciplined, trying very hard. It's very hard to stay away from foods that have been sprayed with chemicals. It's very hard to live in a household with others and stay away from all the chemicals in the air, chemicals in your detergents, chemicals from what's in your shampoos, in your soaps, and everything. Was any of this intended? I don't know. I'm not telling you that anybody's setting out to do all these things. But just in my lifetime, just with what I shared with you, understand this. There has been a lot of changes, drastic changes. Okay? I feel for a lot of people in this world right now because of things that I've learned. Please give me a chance to share my entire life story. I'm very close to being near the end. I'm planning on leaving Pennsylvania and then sharing with you what happened after 2009. Basically, my life became a nightmare. Basically, my life became a nightmare for me that did not end. And even now, it still is a nightmare. And I take all the blame. I made all the choices off of all the information that was given to me. Yes. And the reason that I'm sharing all this is because I care about you. Somebody has to stand up and tell you, you know. I know right now you're probably saying, I'm furious with this. I know Matt Grosh. I know I know Matt Goss. I know Dave Ashcraft. I know LCBC. They would never do this stuff to me. Tracilyn, what are you even getting at? What are you talking about? Now's not the time to tell everything. Little by little. But I assure you that we have to be very careful of who we fall in agreement with, especially if our mind and our heart are not in alignment. If they're not teaching you this, if they're not teaching you how to align your mind with your heart, and they keep on teaching you to pray to God, they're playing games with you. And that's the truth. They're playing games with you. Why are they doing it? I ask myself this many times. Joyce Myers, why are you doing what you do? You know better. Why are you doing what you do? Joel Osteen, well, you know better. Is it at some point in their own walk of life, it hits them, and they're like, oh my goodness, I get it. And for whatever reason, they don't want to turn around and start speaking more of the truth, the absolute truth? Is there a reason for that? Could be. Could be, because I'll tell you what, a lot of people would start to get a little upset. A lot of people would. I'm getting really tired. I am very frustrated. I shared more than enough. I know right now there's going to be a lot of people upset with me, and I'm sorry. That's all I can say is I'm sorry. I'm sharing my life journey. I'm a little disappointed in a lot of the things that I've learned throughout life. Going to that church was the biggest mistake of my life because I should have went to a psychiatrist at that time. Eventually you will find out that I met a psychiatrist, and in only 15-20 minutes of me talking to him, he said the same thing that my friend said. Leave religion out of it. Leave God out of it. Your problem is you're thinking. You're thinking. You think negative. You're not thinking positive. That was one step. But I'm here to tell you It doesn't matter if I'm thinking negative or not. If I'm walking to my car, I'm getting there. It doesn't matter what I'm thinking. If I stand around in a circle and I say, I'm never going to get to my car, I'm never going to get to my car. Well, what if I say, I'm going to get to my car eventually? No, I'm not. I gotta go in that direction. I gotta walk. I know where my car is. It does not matter what I say or what I think along the way. I'm going to my car. I'm going to get to my car. And it's going to take me no longer or no shorter time frame to get there, no matter what I'm thinking. It's our actions. We can't be in control of what happens from the time we leave this spot to the time I go to my car. I don't know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. But I assure you, it doesn't matter how grateful or ungrateful I am. It doesn't matter how positive I am or how negative I am. I'm still going to my car. I'm going to get there. And if I'm determined to get there, no matter what comes against me, even if I gotta crawl on my hands and knees, I'm going to end up getting there. No matter what I'm thinking, saying, or doing. I'm going to get there. You're going to get there. We're all going to get there. If we get understanding that concept. Now, am I in control of what happens from here to there? Absolutely not. And a lot of people will say, well, that all has to do with God. Could be. The beginning step is to get it in mind with her alignment, with her mind and her heart. To be completely honest with herself, and then to take action. Give me time to get into number 3. Alignment with her mind and her heart, take action. Be honest with yourself. Write it out if you have to write it out. Don't show anybody. Don't show anybody. They're going to laugh at you. Everybody's going to laugh at you, criticize you, beat you over the head about it. Okay? Because they're not strong enough to be honest with themselves, that's all. It's the only reason. Jealous, bitterness. Okay. Mind and heart. Keep your mind on your own heart, nobody else's heart. Let me tell you something. We don't want what other people want. We definitely don't need what other people, want. We only need what's in here. That's it. Nothing out there. Everything else falls in alignment at that point. And we sure don't need to listen to somebody speak. We don't. We can look at our own lives. We can observe ourselves. We are made to believe all kinds of crazy stuff. But understand, right now I'm burning out here, getting tired. All this stuff that we are being taught our whole entire life through our parents have been cycled down generations to generations. Very intelligent people, they know what they're doing. And we're fighting it, you and me, you and I and you. We're fighting through this. We're fighting through it because we want to go. We want to be ourselves. That's what we want. What do you want most? What's most important to you is that you be yourself and enjoy your life. That's what we all want. We want to be ourselves and enjoy our life. It's as simple as that. But if we deny ourselves the freedom to be ourselves, we're going to be very miserable. Very miserable. I love you guys. I'm running out of ideas to talk about. This has been very therapeutic. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about my musician, what it was like being a musician. Then I'm going to take time after that to talk about me being an escort. Okay, coming out and being an escort. Because that kind of goes together. Although it's not meant to be together. It's the way it ended up happening for me. Okay. I love you. For anybody who's upset at this message, understand this. The God and Jesus that Christians talk about is very forgiving. And that's all He asks for us, that we be the same. So have forgiveness on me, mercy, grace. All right? I've just begun. I believe I can help people have a life of victory while having fun and not being trapped in a pit like I was. Simple truths, but basic principles will change everything. Change everything. You gotta know you don't need God, you already are God for your life. And whether you believe in Jesus or not, understand this. We are taught that we are disconnected, but I'm here to tell you we are already connected. And the things we eat, the things we use on our body, the environments that we're in, is what separates us from being connected. And believing that. Whether you believe it or not, it's there, it's here. We're connected to everything. I have what it takes to share with you stories of how I realized that through life that I end up talking to myself through other people. Got a lot to share. You guys take care. Love you.